Hey everybody, we are live. It is time for the finale of this whole Falcon and Winter Soldier of 6 weeks of pure action. Dude, what do you guys think of the show? Let me first introduce everybody. We have Malik Patterson. We have Tatiana. Tell us about the show. What did you think of this final episode? Whoever wants to start first.
Oh, it's too much. The episode before the final episode, 'cause I know we didn't do that one, but seeing it was kind of interesting, like seeing him like train to be Captain America. Like you're already Captain America, like you're a Falcon. Like there's not much training. It's not like you're out of shape. Like you're in the best shape of your life. It was good. Episode 5, and then this episode. Wow, it really because this one was more political. This is one of the most political shows or movies that Marvel has done, which I mean, it has the right to be because we're talking about Captain America. We're talking about like the intricacies of the government. That's basically what Captain America represents. But I loved it. There was so many different parts that just really stood out. Like one of the key ones that stood out to me was after he saved the senators and he started like grilling into them, because we can apply a lot of that into like what actually happens in our government and what goes on now. So it was really good. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I did too. Definitely. These last episodes, they definitely saved the best for last. And it seems like they heard my complaints. They started off with action in both of the final episodes, which I really loved. But yeah, that part that Malik pointed out, that part was really powerful. That they dedicated not just a few minutes of him talking, but he actually expanded on what like important issues that we kind of we see here too. So that was like relatable as well. And seeing the last piece, I don't know if we want to get there yet. Should we get there? Like the last part of the finale?
Might as well go for it.
Well, that part, I felt like Agent Carter was already, backstabbing them. Like she wasn't fully trying to help them. I knew something was up with her, that she was going to betray them.
And see, like for me, episode 5 was really good, and a good lead into episode 6. I like the story. I like the fact that the way they unveiled the new Captain America's outfit for Sam, and literally, there's like you could pick up a comic book, and it's exactly what it looks like in the comic book.
I think that's one thing I did love about this show in particular, and actually, even in WandaVision, they did a really good job of introducing the new costumes and making them look exactly like the comics. Because I didn't know if they were gonna like put their own twist on it, but no, he looked just like Sam did in the comics, which I absolutely loved. This episode started off a lot. It was a lot going on. Of course, we already knew from previous episodes Sharon was going to be Power Broker. It was kind of it was foreseen. I didn't know how they were going to spin it because it's that fine line of being good and then being corny. And I just didn't want it to be corny, but it was decent. And then one thing that like stood out to me was the whole fight. Like there was several fight scenes, but the fight scene where she finally sees not Sharon, but Carly sees that Sam is Cap, and she like looks like the look on her face was priceless. That was one thing that really stood out to me for sure.
Yeah, the whole episode was tight. It was really good. It really made John Walker's character a little more. Whereas we were annoyed by him in the first couple episodes, it kind of made sense going towards the end about why he was the way he was and why he acted the way he did. It was just a tight episode all around. And like the one thing that I know, I've been looking at all the socials, seeing what they had to say, and their one gripe was about the Flag Smashers not really flushing them out completely.
Yeah,
and I could see that. I could see that why, because like we get the idea if it was off because of the blip, and how their place in the world changed from the blip.
Mm-hmm.
But when Falcon goes in that rant with the senators and people of the United Nations and stuff, it kind of made like, okay, how was it? If they're just about the blip, it makes it seem like there's more to them that they didn't mention. So I'm wondering how much of it was editing, or what the original edit would have looked like without that stoppage because of COVID.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because, to touch on what was kind of like leaked to social media, they said out of the 3 shows that we're getting, of course, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki, they were like, one of these shows is going to get an actual like second seasons. One of these shows is going to have multiple seasons. And now, I mean, of course, at the end, jumping all the way to the end, we see that it's going to be this one that gets a second season. But I thought we were going to get the Flag Smash more so prolonged into the second season, not just Power Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if it's actually getting a second season because they haven't said anything. Loki's getting the second season. They said Loki was getting the second season, but I don't know about this one yet. So I'm curious.
Right, and hopefully this one does get a second season. I feel like we could get a second season from this one, especially the way that it did. Because now we see how Power Girl is out. Because I think she should be drawn into like into the movies. I don't see her being that powerful, but as far as this show is concerned, I think she's good. I think the Flag Smashers could have been drawn out into like the movies, but they killed everybody off. So now I know it's kind of up in the wind now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be a second season or if they're gonna make a movie with the title of like Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Well, there's a rumor that Chris Evans may be coming back to Captain America, to the role of Captain America.
Okay.
Oh, so calm down there, Tatiana. There's a rumor, but I haven't heard anything else yet. But let's see what happens. But the one thing that I really did like in the way they drew out is the relationship of Sam and Isaiah Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good, and especially at the end, giving him recognition for what he had done. Like I was almost about to draw a tear.
Yeah.
It was so well done because let's be honest here. We're all minorities here.
Mm-hmm.
We all been in our history, in our families, we've all been treated poorly for the country that we love and we are part of. And what he saw can embody so many different people in this country. And to get that representation, to get honored, to have a wing next to Captain America for his service and what he did and how they treated him. I mean, that was kind of a big deal. And I like the way they played it off, and I like the way they showed that.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny part of him being the Black Falcon from Black Captain America.
The enshrinement was just, it didn't bring a tear out of me, but it was definitely extremely moving.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed Isaiah Bradley's character. Now my whole thing is I wish we could have gotten more, or I wish we could get like a flashback of when Isaiah Bradley was Captain America or something. Just something to kind of like tie it all in together. But that was really cool. The only tidbit I didn't like, of course, it had to be in the show, but the whole that's Black Falcon, no, it's Captain America. We could have went without those lines.
Yeah.
Just personally, but I just don't really like the whole cheesy go at certain things. I feel like it's lazy writing to me. That's just my personal feeling towards those types of things. I feel like it's lazy writing and it's just easy. It's an easy punch the ticket type of thing. But there was so many things, and even I didn't actually hate John Walker in this episode. Everything he did in this episode made sense, and I really like how they fleshed his character completely out.
Exactly.
And
anything you want to add?
wanted to say no about Zemo. I was kind of curious to see what we saw that he was taken by the Wakandan. I can't remember his name. By the Wakandan. Yeah, Wakandan. So I wanted to see, how he was taken, into this prison, or if we're gonna get more of him in the future. And seeing if Wakanda, we saw a bit of them, but then I don't know where they kind of disappeared. I kind of wish they kind of showed more of that.
Well,
I know even Civil War says a lot of that.
I know we're going to see a lot more of Wakanda and people in the future, especially with Brian Coogler getting his deal with Marvel. So we're going to see that kind of like for years to come down the line. But my thing is how do they play it? Because he's in a real solitary confinement, which is in the middle of the ocean, somewhere off Wakanda's shores. So it's like, will he escape and will he be brought back further in the MCU, or is this where they're just going to leave him because it's almost impossible for him to escape? Because honestly, like somebody else would have to break him out for him to be able to escape. It's not because Wakanda is the smartest, most high tech place in the entire MCU, so there's no regular breaking out for him. But I hope
Captain America was able to break out everybody at Civil War out of the rack.
True, very true. But
so there is a way.
There's a way.
Yeah. So
it's super. Another thing I would like to talk about. I loved his U.S. agent suit. I think that costume matched the comics perfectly. His excitement to be the U.S. agent and everything. Him, his girlfriend, and I'm trying to think of the name of the character now.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character.
Yes. So it was. I want to see him in the future. I want to see where that turns out. Where will he fit in this entire MCU? Not just for Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier, whether we get a second season or not. Where does U.S. Agent fit in all of this in general?
And I think we're going to see more coming up because something tells me they're going to be a part of Iron War or whatever they're going to call it with Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to play off of that because there's a reason why he was in there in this show in the first episode. I think it was a little intimate. Huh?
Said it feels so long ago, but it doesn't.
Oh, exactly. So that's why, like, I think there's a lot of connections, especially with what's her name? Well, she became Power Broker. What's her name?
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter. Yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot to do with her and what she's going to be a part of, and something tells me maybe it's a resurgence of Hydra. Or something like that because it's the same principles. It's almost like history's repeating itself again. And this time Sharon Carter's in the mix, and there's going to be more in the mix. So it's going to be interesting to see in the future what they do with that character and what's going to happen. But I think time will only tell with all this. I guess that's the only thing you could say.
Yeah, that's true because we never really got a confirmation that they were part of Hydra, right? Because I remember Bucky mentioned that, and we were wondering that too. So,
because Hydra's supposed to be dead, but
right.
But like they always say, cut one head and another one grows in its place.
Yeah.
So you never know if they're just laying down, or even there's even a rumor that Sharon's a Skrull, and this is all going to lead up to Secret Wars. Who knows? If there's so many avenues you could play with this scenario that it could go almost anywhere.
I mean, so many things were dead, which is, that's kind of like why we got Sword instead of Shield. So yeah, there's so much that could happen. But now I'm curious how far are we going to go into this phase? Like how far into phase 4 are we gonna wait to see them? Is it gonna be like an immediate thing? Especially because like when seeing not to touch back on the first show again, but seeing her turn into Scarlet Witch. I'm like, that's kind of like the end of almost end of a phase 4 type of villain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, are they just foreshadowing all of Phase 4 right now in these first 2 shows, or like I really want to know what the premise is.
It's weird because it's like you have a bunch of shows coming out this year and next year.
Mm-hmm.
You have movies finally coming out this year and next year, and we're not used to having a certain phase of the film series of the MCU where it's usually taken a concise into 2 years. Usually it's spanned out into 4 or even 5 years. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see how everything interlocks and interlinks to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We won't know. I bet you we won't have an idea until the end of this year on how things are going to go.
And then, like, that's another thing is we still have 0 signs of any X-Men.
Yeah.
Now, I know in the upcoming movie, well, not just in the movie, he won't be in the movie, but I know in the upcoming movie, Shang-Chi, that he works with Wolverine as well. But that's like deep into Marvel. So, like, that goes over a lot of people's heads. I know I'm way over your head right now, Tati. But I know he works with them. I know he works with the Avengers. So it's like, are we going to get like just a complete separate rollout for the X-Men and how they're going to play out? Because I don't know. And then who was this? Weren't we supposed to get like another person in this show too?
Yeah, they've always been talking about. There was more. The speculation seems to lead to a lot more than the actual series has been really showing.
I think that's our own fault as like fans. I think we're rolling this out a little too hard and hyping this up way too much. Because I'm expecting like a big surprise moment, a big thing, and it's like, okay, everybody we've seen is somebody we've expected, or just like a hint to something bigger.
After WandaVision, we can't really expect much.
Well, the thing that caught me by surprise was the scroll at the very end. But I mean, that was at the very end of the entire show. So, like, if you cut off after the credits, which you shouldn't do, but some people still do it, you didn't even know that the scroll was there. So then you're still left with kind of like sour taste in your mouth. I don't know.
Like this one, I like the way this one just rounded everything up and closed everything, which kind of makes you wonder. But also, it kind of like, okay, we know who's in new Captain America. We know what's going on with Bucky. We know what's going on with John Walker. The only one that leaves you wondering what Sharon Carter's actually true intentions are is her.
I'm wondering what happened to the super serum if John Walker actually used it.
He did use it.
Right? Because, I mean...
But the rest of them were smashed. So they would have to find another chemist, and the chemist would have to draw blood like they did to Isaiah Bradley. He would have to draw blood from somebody who has it and then recreate all of these serums all over again.
And something tells me there's more out there. That more than we know that they're out there, and we know that there's more. But I think that's going to be where we're going to learn a lot more into this whole thing as we go on. I don't think there's so much still left to go, and where you just open the first page, I think. And
yeah, because Carly definitely alluded to it. She was like, I don't have to be alive for this movement to continue. And we only know a small bit of what they were truly working on. And so the main ones were killed off, but we know that the serum does a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So we don't know who's going to come to this, or who's going to, may not be completely like credited for the serum, but just be some complete evil bad guy who was super smart anyway, who just so happened to take the serum as well.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see, but we're coming down to 20-minute mark now. So I think we should get your ratings on the whole series and what you thought about it. So Tatiana, let's start with you because you're still catching up on a lot of things.
I would definitely give it an A. I loved how the story turned out, and the ending was very good too. It started off slow, you know. I got into like the whole action scenes thanks to you guys, into Marvel. So I was really expecting those action scenes to come in first, but I like how it turned out, the ending, and I'm really looking forward to see where the story will continue and how it will continue.
I agree. I'd give it an A. I really, and I know I'm trying to we use the word flushed out and completed, but you could just tell that this was something that was in the works for a while. Like, for it to be only 6 episodes, I don't feel like I was cut short, or if I needed something extra. Like, the whole 6 episodes gave me everything we needed to know. It was like a really long drawn. Actually, no. WandaVision felt more like a long drawn out movie. This actually felt like a series. This felt like just a complete series or show or even season with only 6 episodes. So I truly thoroughly enjoyed it. I only think I wish we got more of his therapist, because she was hilarious. She was pretty good in the beginning of the show, and I thought we were gonna see more of her, but then it just kind of fizzled out.
I agree. I give the show an A. I like the way it ended up. I like the way it wrapped. It was definitely, I felt satisfied at the end in comparison to WandaVision. And I think by now everybody knows my thoughts on that. So, yeah, I think that's, it was really, it was well done. It was well done. Sometimes the writing was a little corny, but in certain scenes, but overall I was satisfied. It was worth my time. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what's next. And what is next? Loki on June 11th is when we'll be doing another live Marvel stream. But also, too, we may be coming back sooner because we do have Star Wars The Bad Batch cartoon starting up on May the 4th. So, who knows?
You just told me something I didn't even know.
What happened?
You just informed me on something I didn't even know. I'm in the middle. I'm almost done with not Rebels, Clone Wars. Because I've never seen Clone Wars and I've never seen Rebels. But now I have to power through so I can get to the Bad Batch.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Which I don't even know too much, and I don't claim I'm a Star Wars expert, but I've lived it my whole life. So, and I never knew about this story, so I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to Loki. I think that's going to be a great series. Already from the commercials and all the trailers that I've seen, that is just going to be weird and on all belief. But it's also going to be very interesting. So yeah, and then what else is coming up? What If? Marvel's What If? I don't know when that is going. I don't know if I know they've had trailers on it, but I don't know if that's had a start date already. If we have when it's going to come out, actually.
Towards the end of the year. I believe it's towards the end of the year, kind of like Shang-Chi in September.
Yeah.
Like towards that half of the year.
Between Loki and Miss Marvel?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't have a date yet. It says 2021. But yeah, we'll be doing this a lot more. We'll be doing a lot more. We're adding a lot more. We're going to be doing a lot of other stuff too. It's going to be a very interesting summer. I could say that because we're opening up here in LA. So who knows what's going to happen, and maybe we'll be back in the studio sooner than what we thought, and no longer being in different parts. Doing the Southern California Triangle, where we're going from the San Fernando Valley to the Inland Empire to here in the San Gabriel Valley, so and making this work. But yeah, but how can everybody find you while we're taking a break?
You can find me at Tati's Yolani on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. Malik, how about you?
I was close to. You can find me right here, Malik on Ox, on all social media except for on LinkedIn and Facebook. It's just Malik Patterson. And then Mike.
You can find me here. At MUSE TV. And don't forget, we have some posts that Malik's going to be going up later on today. So take a look at our social media. It'll be going up soon. It was supposed to go up early today, but been a little busy. So I'm sorry. I can only do so much I'm only one man. I only do so much. So, but thank you everybody for watching and being a part of this over the last 6 weeks. This is our first foray of really doing live streams, and we're going to be improving on it. We're going to be doing some more things. Hopefully, we'll start some new membership options and stuff like that. We are going to grow as much as we possibly can before the next live stream that we go through. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And stay tuned on our social media because we're going to announce more through our social media. So thank you so much. We'll see you June 11th. For sure, June 11th. Don't know about May 4th yet, but for sure, June 11th. So we'll see you then.